All right, Totem Pole Nation, Lambo Sports featuring the Big Brother. Ladies and gentlemen, Thursday night's game, which is less than 48 hours away, or 48 hours away, going into I guess 8 o'clock in the next 3 hours. Thursday night football. All right, we're talking about the Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. Both teams are at 2-1. We didn't expect Green Bay to probably be 2-1. All right, we thought they'd have a complete drop off without Aaron Rodgers, but they made some improvements. But like I said, despite them blowing a 12-point lead against the Falcons in the fourth quarter, they should be 3-0. The Lions should be 3-0 as well if they didn't lose to the Seahawks. So we could be talking a different story here. We have a lot. I have high hopes for the Lions. You have high hopes for the Lions. They have a chance to actually run away with this division. I would say run away, but it's, I guess, as of now, if you had to pick, it's between them and Green Bay because the Bears suck and the Vikings are 0-3. So you got two teams that are 0-3. Now, I said on Lambeau's What It's Supposed before, I had to make a business decision and have this man on the show because he brings his smarts and expertise to sports that hasn't been shown to America, and I want him to show off his smartness and his greatness on here. I've said that the Vikings have a chance to win the division. I thought the Vikings was possibly going to win 13 games. The Lions win at least 10. Now, that's not saying they don't have a chance to, but Lions are 2-1 and the Vikings are 0-3. So we're not sure now. The Lions have a chance to win the division unexpectedly. So what are your thoughts on this game? I know that Jordan Love, not that you're not sold on him, but his completion percentage has gone down. The identity of the run game sometimes is off. I think he throws it just fine, but the Packers just find ways to lose games. They lost 12-point lead against the Falcons, and then last week they couldn't score until the fourth quarter until Derek Carr got hurt. So who do you have in this pick? I'm going to pick the Lions to win this one because I'm more confident in the Lions and Jared Goff and Dan Campbell, that swagger that he brings to the team. David Montgomery, Mari St. Brown. I'm very confident in the Lions doing something. They beat Green Bay at Green Bay last year to knock them out the playoff or eliminate them from the playoffs. They had their first winning season since 2016. I got the Lions. What are your thoughts on this game?
I'm with you. I am with you. I've got the Lions 28-21. I do think the Packers are going to make it competitive, but, I mean, you said it. My Jordan Love evaluation so far is that he's not putting the ball in the best spots. 53% completion percentage through 3 weeks is not anything to, be super alarmed at just because it's through 3 weeks, but it can't continue to, at least half the season. But on the flip side, he's got 7 touchdowns to just 1 interception. So it's not completely him putting the ball in dangerous situations. It's just, sometimes he's not all the way there. They're going to need Aaron Jones back in this game. He needs, if he doesn't come back, then I really see no chance. He's still questionable. He was limited in yesterday's practice, but I mean, there's nothing out about today's practice at all. So I don't know what he was doing. Christian Watson is still questionable, but he said today to reporters that he plans on playing on Thursday. Bakhtiari is still looking doubtful. I don't know if this guy's ever going to play 10 games in a season again. He's been hurt for 3 years now. But I mean, the run defense they're playing in Detroit is insane. They're let me look. Yeah, 5th best run defense in the league, man. They're I mean, I get it, it's through 3 weeks, but it's not like they're playing scrubs. They've had a pretty decent schedule so far through 3 weeks. And the secondary for the Green Bay Packers is supposed to be what could even this out in my mind, but Jair isn't a guy that you can just replace. He didn't play last week, and he's still questionable so far into this week. And they're allowing 136 running yards per game against Jahmyr Gibbs, who at this point is still the starter. David Montgomery's limited participant today in practice, so he's not I don't know. I mean, it's a short week. I doubt that they're going to put him out there if there's any chance that he's still, like 50-50. I can't see it happening. So they're going to, allow yards on the ground, and the pass defense is supposed to be what evens that out. Jair's out. He takes away like half of the field pretty much, essentially a rookie quarter. I mean, it's his first year starting. You know what I mean? To the Lions side of things, their secondary is 19th in the league right now. So, and especially, CJ, GJ, obviously still on IR. So it's not like this is going to be the hardest task for Jordan Love, but he can't be going out here throwing 53% and not scoring any points till the second half. Because you can't do that against this offense that you're playing against. They have the 5th best run defense in the league. Like I said, they still have 2 O-linemen questionable. Nothing about them practicing has been put out. Emmanuel Mosley in the secondary, limited yesterday. No word about today. And David Montgomery's still been limited both yesterday and today. So, again, it's up in the air if he's going to play, but a short week, I doubt they put him in if he's not 100%. Jared Goff is continuing where he left off last year as the most accurate quarterback in the league. He's still throwing the ball 70%, 5 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. And, he's throwing that with what we saw in week 1 with just Amon-Ra going crazy. The other receivers were kind of dropping balls here and there, and those receivers have picked it up in the past 2 weeks. They're not, dropping open passes and stuff like that. They're actually, Reynolds has been great. Which I don't know. I think when we talked about it originally, we were like, wow, what a, good for him. But like nothing that we would put a pin in and go back to later in the season. So it's cool to see him continue to perform. But yeah, I just think, with Gibbs averaging what he's averaged 4.5 yards per carry, and he's 3rd on the team in catches as well, most of them being out of the backfield. The Packers' run defense is not good enough to limit them and slow them down enough to overcome what I think will be presented on the scoreboard.
Well, you got to respond to this. I have said that Deer was on my show last night, and he thinks the Lions have a chance to win the Super Bowl. All right? And probably in a different world. Now, it took them a while to be real realistic. I'm like, the Lions have a shot at the playoffs. They ain't got a shot at no Super Bowl. I don't think, they might have. I give them a 40% possibility chance to beat the Dallas Cowboys if they were to play each other. 40%. I take Cowboys 60 over 40 just because the Cowboys been there playoff wise. But the blasphemy that he said, they have a chance to beat the Eagles and the 49ers. And to get to the Super Bowl, we just forgetting those 3 teams in the NFC: Dallas, Eagles, 49ers. Those teams that you have to watch out for. The Vikings, we ain't sold on them. Kirk Cousins ain't gonna win a playoff game. But what is your response? Do you think the Lions are gonna make the damn Super Bowl? Because I don't think so. They have no chance to beat the 49ers or the Eagles, and I give them a 40% chance to beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, look, they've got to get their the run defense is great, but it's still a passing league. You got to get the secondary under control. And with CJ GJ out, he's a major catalyst to success on that defense. That's a big thing to overcome. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I see them making the playoffs, and I mean, maybe they win in the wild card, but I don't think. I mean, it depends on who they're seated up against. So, the issue is going to ultimately come down to where they're seated, because the number 1 seed is going to be the Niners, the Eagles, or the Cowboys. And whatever 3 it's not, you got to trust the Lions to have a good enough record to where they're playing one of the bottom teams, one of the actual wild card teams. Because if they're not, and they slip up a little bit and they get in because they win a division that doesn't have a lot of wins, we can't just act like the NFC wild cards. Not the wild cards. The division winners are just as bad as the wild cards that will sneak in. And some of those wild card teams that are going to sneak in are, teams that we didn't expect to, like the Falcons defense. I don't know. I would pick the Lions over the Falcons. Obviously, we just saw it. But just like beating a team twice as hard, and that's a really good defense that you've got to play against. You don't trust the offense as much. I get it. But that's just like an example that there's no game that they're going to go into in the playoffs where I just think like, oh, 100% Lions are winning this. So I could see them getting out of the wild card, getting to the divisional round, but I don't think they're getting past the second round at all. So much less the Super Bowl.
Yes. Thank you for being realistic because and your fantasy and your dream while you go to sleep, it's okay. I understand the passion that for the Lions. I understand the passion, but I say they ain't no damn well they gonna make no damn Super Bowl. A 49ers is a different breed and all this other stuff. I mean, the 49ers had the matchups to guard the Lions receivers. You was trying to mix and match. I was like, the 49ers defense versus the Lions offensive line? Like, are you kidding me now?
I think that matchup is very lopsided. Amon-Ra is going to get his touches. We get that. But the D-line and linebacking core of San Francisco would erase the entire flat. So good luck getting anything, in the screen, in the flat, in the underneath. Good luck with any of that. Which is where Jameer's been getting most of his catches from. He's third on the team in receptions. And then, they've got depth at the secondary to where I think they could have two guys on Amon-Ra most times. It wouldn't be like directly man-to-man double coverage, but you know what I mean? Like just making sure where he is has two men there. And Reynolds has played great, but I don't trust him to do that against the Niners defense. And I don't trust that O-line, which, like I just mentioned, still has two guys hurt. Same two guys from damn near week one at this point that have been shaky, like going into the week questionable. So, good luck. I don't know. And then like on the flip side, you're Ayuk, Debo as the receivers, and then you've still got
Jennings and
CMC, but you got CMC in the backfield. Like, I get it; it's a good run defense, but it's just different. It's different. The Niners, I've said it since my first episode on here. The Niners, I think, are the best team in the NFC, and I'm saying that wearing my Dallas hoodie. So I'm accept like they are the best team in the NFC, in my opinion. So. Yeah, I respect his take and I respect his fandom because you got to be dedicated to be a Lions fan. We know that it's a new.
To correct you, I didn't reiterate. That's my fault. I think his family member, his dad or something, is a diehard Lions fan. That's the past. He's actually a Bengals fan. But go ahead. I didn't.
Oh, all right.
That's my fault. I think he did that for his dad. The passion for his dad. That's what he did.
Yeah, he grew up
actually a Bengals fan.
Hell yeah, I'm sure he grew up in a very passionate household of, diehard Lions, and it's just been the same old Lions since Barry left damn near, like even when they had Calvin and Matt as a duo, like they would put up great numbers, but it didn't lead to anything for them. So, like it's the same old Lions until right now, and it's just like this wave of excitement that I think isn't, familiar with them at all. So yeah, I respect the excitement. I respect all of that. But, like that was the worst defense in the NFL last year, pretty much. And they have made improvements, but I don't think it's enough to say that they're going to the Super Bowl. And I don't think it's enough to say that they definitely beat any of the top three teams in the NFC.
No, that won't happen. Maybe in a different world. But the next game we got to talk about is we going into college football, okay? We are going to talk about Colorado versus USC, okay? Travis Hunter wants to play. Travis Hunter ain't playing, all right? He got to be out for at least 2 more weeks. I think primetime Deion Sanders going to have them lock in. They're at home, all right, in Boulder. By the way, Undisputed, if you watch them, they're going to be in Boulder on Friday. So it'll be a big noon kickoff. We're going to see whose predictions will sit right. I'm still a big fan of Colorado, but you'll figure out who I pick in the next episode when we talk about Colorado and USC. And by the way, I don't think teams are trying to beat Colorado. They're trying to beat Deion Sanders. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of jealousy going on. I will get into that in the next episode of Lambo Sports, featuring the Big Brother, featuring Silent Sports Network. Next episode, we are talking